Well, hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we are looking at the city of Los Ricos by MDOG, a 130,000 population city, built on the winding river map from the Map Pack 2 DLC. There is a lot of mods and a fair few custom assets here, in a really stunning build spanning over these tropical mountainous islands, with some near photorealistic detailing across some parts of the city as well. A real treat in store today, everyone. Don't forget, if you want your work to feature in the next episode, there is a link in the video description to a Google form. Fill that out, and I'll do my best to showcase your work. Otherwise, settle in. Let's take a look around Los Ricos, shall we? So we'll start our showcase over in the corner of the map, where there's a ton of infrastructure, a refinery, a cargo port, islands chained together with arterial road, a campus, an interchange, and just loads. This little corner could be a whole city showcase just within itself, couldn't it? So let's go to the edge of the map over here, and we'll start with the aviation club linked with the airport museum and some light car parking. Now there is a lot of very high triangle trees in this city. So down toward the ground, we do lose some frames, but bear with it. A nice single point urban interchange here, which has been intersection marking tooled, which you'd love to see. MDOG said there is a significant amount of IMT across the city, and already we stumble upon it. Isn't that gorgeous? Real nice. And a very nice interchange, MDOG. Little single point urban number. Bringing us into vast suburbia. With some detailed high schools around here. We've got chain link fencing, basketball courts, benches, bins, hot dog stands. Next to our football pitch. Which then very much flows into big outer lying suburbia. Mostly European suburbia at that as well. Coming into a mall space with green cities. An actual mall. And some of the modern Japan buildings also present in the little strip space here as well. I really like that. Very nice. Big palm lined arterial roads. Coming onto surface painted parks. Love that. Nice little detail. And then as we cross over the highway, we'll see quite the collection of assets tucked in the hill here. With a little church, which is a really nice asset. I really love that. Centralized with retaining walls. Cafe and plaza detailing. The Vanilla Zoo and Asian Temple buildings also partner here too. That's a really nice placement of the Shibuya Park. I like what you did with that there. And this is a really nice area. I love that combination of assets there. The ponds with the temple goes very well, doesn't it? I'll have to remember that for REALISM. And there's all this tucked in the trees. Look at that, MDOG. Look at that. That's so nice. I love that. Little tables, little pathways here. Custom pathways at that. Is that like a cobblestone path? That's really nice, isn't it? That brings us up into the hills. Where we'll see even more details. Love that little statue there. Edges. And then even more of it over here. Even another little maze. That's so nice. Isn't that awesome? I love that, MDOG. Because we had a maze in, not the last city showcase, but I think the one before, didn't we? So I'm happy to see the maze getting some love. Great use of that countryside asset there as well. Which then brings us back to the pedestrian area, which is full of more details. So I really love that. Almost like a little kind of Japanese botanical garden here. Really cool. Really like it. This then brings us back into the suburb again, where we have flowing suburbia all the way through here. Up to another single point urban interchange, bringing us into this big chunk of infrastructure. Made up of multiple factories. Got the car and the soft paper out here. And some pretty gnarly and impressive elevated train infrastructure. Bringing us into the city somewhere, we'll see. train police are going to be more than happy with all this as well, I think. Here in our factory, we're going to see some delivery vehicle detailing, which makes an enormous difference for me. Industrial wasteland, tyre piles, look at that. Tyre detailing. Branch offices, warehouses. A big statue outside the mall as well. Look at that. I really love the orientation here, MDog. I'm noticing the angle shift of the buildings against the angle of the road. Isn't that a nice view? Especially with those trains elevated through it as well. That's a great example of orientation here. Against this particular arterial road. Fencing, the angle of the recycling centres. Post sorting facility. The decals with the vehicles. Incredible, MDog. This is a really nice build, mate. Really nice. There's a lot of time gone into this. I think this is the city MDog has kind of like completely finished. With a massive statue down here as well. So I want to know what these are because I'm looking for new statues in Ilium. Have a little check of this. It's the Chinese style sculpture pack. There you go, everyone. That's the assets we're seeing here. Might add those to Ilium, MDog. Real nice assets, those. Good stuff. Like that. Yeah. More IMT on the roundabout as well, everyone. Isn't that simply gorgeous? With all your... I think traffic manager police should be happy with that. They should be. I think. But look at that, right? Isn't that just a great, wonderful cityscape? IMT makes a vast difference. A little bit of fusing of the... I think they're are they mall assets or wall-to-wall assets, those ones? But I love what you fuse them into the side, because it is quite plain on the side, the Mall of Marbles. So that's a really nice idea. A little bit of shops with Shibuya fusing over here as well. Great stuff, MDog, and great planter detailing, look at that. Those planters. Even with this little strip here. What is that? Is that a decal? I have to check that out. It is a decal. I've never seen anyone do that, MDog. Take the time to like run a secondary decal in front of their bollards. That's so cool. But planters are very welcome. I really like what you did with those. Uses a little triangle, and I think they're King Lenovo's planters, aren't they? We had them in Ilos and Thessia. Very nice. Yeah, really sweet, MDog. Really nice, more detailing. There's plenty more of it to be enjoyed here as well. Decals, pathways, planters. Big box mall vibes. Really like it. We'll see some more really wonderful detailing. Is that individual... Well, I guess they're using it. This is an asset, isn't it? Yeah, it is. An octagon park. But it is made of vanilla assets. You could very easily recreate that in vanilla or without the asset itself. For some reason, I've never thought of using the park life planters like that before. Almost as like a little bit of an enclosure into a fountain plaza. Very tasty indeed. I really like that. Our 1 unit roads lead us behind the casino, which has lots of landscaping heading out the front of it. Down toward the driving range just across the road as well, which does have a pathway taking us over the hills and far away. Or I might be able to reclaim some frames from MDog's relentless tree work. Let's see where this goes. Goodness me. A fair way, isn't it? It's just a big mountaintop trail. Has taken us anywhere? Looks like there's a viewpoint over here. There's some really wonderful custom trees. Viewpoint, yes it does, look at that. Across the whole rest of the city, which is absolutely massive. It goes everywhere over here, doesn't it? Wild. Really wild. But what a view, MDog. Really nice. Back down to the front of our casino. It looks like this heads down to a little municipal building over here. Very tasty. Right on the waterfront. And with the pyramid of safety and really our first taste of high density using a mix of financial district and content creator pack towers. That's a really nice placement of the Statue of Liberty. I love this waterfront here. Simple, tasteful, walkable concrete detailing. With a little skate park asset here. That's not a skate park, is it? It would make a good skate park, admittedly. But I think it's just like a water fountain plaza, isn't it? Hotels. Big shops of Shibuya fusing here. With this big block of it. Doesn't that look really nice? So dense in like that. Possibly the best use of Shibuya pack we've seen on City Showcase so far, M-Dog. I really love this. The central train station sits here, which is our first real taste of the transit networks. Which we have a huge amount of dead over here. We just got a death care issue. Yes. You're massively in the red for crematoriums, M-Dog. That's fine though. 281 over here. And then 122. We'll also use that as an excuse to check our ridership numbers. Have a look at what's going on here. Significantly more tourists than residents a week. Which is usually the way it goes. But yeah, just under 10,000 a week on the transit networks. And the traffic is at 79%. Which again, in a city of 128k. Is decent. This then flows into residential, which is green cities and the central park all stitched together with car parking underneath. I really need to remember to use these assets more. And a little bit of Hearts of Korea, Africa in miniature. All the different content creator packs have been used here. Really good stuff. And I really like the single placement of the Brooklyn and Queens buildings as well. Rather than always having them fused. This brings us into the next factory on the side, which is combinations of office space, detailing, services, warehouses, and then big soft paper factory. Partnered with some water treatment as well, which is always a vibe, isn't it? Very similar looking assets sometimes there's. This sits next to a little district of university city assets, with more really wonderfully marked intersections off of the highway. Then we come into a campus, every one of my favourite things. Love the campuses. And this is a really nice one. You've integrated runes into it over here. The kind of a big old abandoned seafort present in the campus itself. First time we've ever seen that, I think. And then lots of detailing through the campus area. Really love the respect for the back of the building here. Pathways cutting through. Tables to enjoy at the foot of the stadium. Pitches, more plaza work, look at this. Even individual fence placements. Using, I think, the amusement park fence, which isn't one we see very often at all. Got the museum in here. Varsity Sports, partnered with some more Africa buildings, which is a really nice asset combination. That hotel with the business park I really like. Even the Brandenburg Gate. Possibly one of the most unique combination of assets we've ever had there. 4 Africa buildings. With 3 of the base game uniques. And a ferry stop, which is getting some pretty decent news. Hello, people. Watch some ferries come in. Wonderful. Both sides being used. Where are you going, I wonder? Out of the breakwater, and looks like over to downtown. Yep. Into a somewhat congested ferry harbour. Optimised outside connections can sort this out for you, M-Dog, by the way. It will just tell one to come at a time, rather than all of them. Wonderful, really nice campus, M-Dog. Really love that. There's loads of detail tucked in here. More planters and seatage behind buildings. Uniques, plazas. Just great stuff. Really nice. Nicely positioned over here as well. We come across this breakwater, which is really nicely designed. A key with rock wall here. Will breakwater police be happy with this? We'll find out in the comments below. This then brings us into these little selection of islands linked together by arterial road, which are made up of a bunch of different housing styles. We've got base game vanilla, which is a bold shout, M-Dog. There's mid-century modern over here. And then there's custom homes over here, which look to be serving more of a gated community given the roads and the hedge work around this way. These are the big urban roads, aren't they? But I do like these custom homes. Nice little plants outside them as well. This is why our frames are so low in certain parts of this city. There's a lot of custom trees in this map. As you don't know, if you download really high triangle resolution trees, they will destroy your frame rate, especially if you're using them in a forest brush as well. So just something to note on the subject while we're talking about it. These are really nice homes though, M-Dog. Really nice little custom gated community there. And with big pedestrian glass plazas just absolutely packed with details all the way through here. Isn't that gorgeous? Landscape on either side of the spa hotel. Brings it into a big shopping district. Of course, using King Leno's wonderful DLC. Palm-lined streets. Vanilla Hospital over here. A really nice residential district. And I guess commercial as well. There's plenty of shopping malls here, isn't there? The unique buildings also appearing there. With even more of it. Down this way. With a bridge taking us back to the other island using the European walkway, which isn't something we see often at all either. Back onto a vanilla housing island pretty much. Looks like we've got some custom apartment buildings over here. With really nice tennis asset. Pools. Very much rich, luxurious, gated communities over here, isn't it? Really love this angle of the pitch that follows the road and the pathway there. And just a moment to appreciate the road hierarchy here, right? M-Dog clearly a very seasoned builder. Arterials flowing with nice gradients, bridges, intersections, just immaculately planned. Really nice, M-Dog. Got marinas down here as well. Classic tip, of course. Done this many times. In Ilium so far. Some custom boats here too. And the financial plaza sits over here as well. We'll jump across this side of the sea before we carry on further outland. Back alongside the highway. Again, we'll find some really nice ideas with the planters on these tennis courts here. And are they part of the asset, M-Dog, or did you place them? Part of the asset, is it? Yeah, this whole thing is one asset. Still, it's very nice. And even more so over here as well. Wait, is that custom? The people are sat on the benches, so I'm guessing it is, yeah. Oh. Didn't mean to place another one. There we go. It's a basketball double court. That's a really cool asset. I like that. Parking with schools, loads of hedges. Continues all the way through here, especially into this big plaza over this way. A little bit of lifeguard detailing. Feel we're missing a pool asset there. There was only 5 missing assets on the loading screen report. But M-Dog did say there might be a few of them. But it looks like we're possibly missing 2 pools here. But either way, as a swimming court or swimming pool, it's super nice. A bit of entryway over here. That's so cool, isn't it? This is surrounded with Hearts of Korea residential. I love this little Shibuya configuration, having the space open behind the buildings there. So yeah, Shibuya and Korea really combining well here, aren't they? I really need to use these Hearts of Korea houses more. They're very versatile. Great park, Hearts of Korea, if you didn't pick it up. And then even some Korea row home districts here as well. I really like this. Isn't that such a powerful image? I like that. Parking lot roads included in there as well. For a little hotel complex, after dark hotels, skate parks, volleyball courts, and another one of those Chinese statues. With some beach detailing over here as well with that. M-Dog has gone to all the lengths in this build. Love to see it. A little sunken ship with a breakwater. I think completes that area here. More basic interchange ramps for the residentials here too. With intersection marked ramps at that. Back over toward the islands. We'll see this bridge take us into very much the industrial part of this area. We'll have massive fuel tanks, more factories. Really love all the curvy little ramps you've got coming off this elevated arterial. I'm seeing it through here as well. But I think certainly admiration of the port by the highways, the take-home point here, isn't it? Loads of detailing with containers, props against the food factory. Look at all that decal work. M-Dog's not messed about here, has he? Cracks, tyre marks, dust and grime. Delivery vehicles creating their own marks on the concrete here. Incredible, M-Dog. Really cool. Factories with statues. And even more of them over here. With even more of the same. Like, look at this. Look at this. That's so much work. And a really nice combination of assets as well. Car parks with offices and Avanya's warehouse container storage. Assets we're very familiar with on this channel. Oil spill detailing, anyone? Isn't that amazing? All these little delivery trucks here. Just a fleet of them ready to go to work. With oil spills. Just love to see it. The shipyard is really nicely integrated in. Bit of anarchy goes a long way, doesn't it? Bit of a dry dock. And then more factories over here with more detailing. Like, wild. Really wild, M-Dog. That brings us back to the highway interchange. Welcome to that food factory, which then crosses the highway into a big old oil refinery partnered with the steel plant. Lots of naphtha cracker plants, petrolysis, etc. All the industry's DLC oil stuff planted up very nicely here. With the refinery unit building, of course, heading us up to the sea. Linked with a couple of mining vessels. We should see the rigs out there, rather. And then the more tanks back up to the rigs over here. Kind of completing that real first half of the city. Well, not even first half, is it? first chunk of this city over here. There's so much in there, M-Dog. So many details and props. I can see why my frames are screaming if the rest of the city is like that. So, gorgeous start to the build. Leaving this bit of the city onto the very distinctive Ore Island, which is definitely a selling point of this map. During our several visits to this map, we've commented on the ore deposits here. And how they're very much made to be formed into a strip mine, which is exactly what M-Dog has done. As we start our tour over here from the ferry stop, with a few plazas out here from the financial district stuff. Very nice. Taking us into... I wonder, is this purposeful abandonment, M-Dog? I wonder if that was on purpose. It's not abandoning everywhere else, is it? Even though we are suffering vast death. Yeah, advanced building level control is preventing abandonment, which leads me to think that if that's the case in the mod set, these assets over here are abandoned on purpose. Given the fact they're probably old, dire commercial. You'd have to let me know if that's the case, M-Dog. Just, that's what I'm assuming here. Given the fact it's so grimy and run down as well, I think that's definitely the vibe to go with, isn't it? It's abandoned for a reason, because it's old and knackered. Must be the way, because one is fine and one isn't. Anyway, let's not read into that too much. From here, emergency services is mixed with the industry buildings themselves. Before we come across some of that older King Leno housing, definitely forming as workers' housing for the local strip mine here, which is a beast and made up of several different things, including an awful amount of cocaine, is what is being extracted here. I'm going to assume it's salt, perhaps, isn't it? Probably salt. Let's get a bit of a look at the scale of this. Look at that. So lots of white and red powders. Great excavation going on in the middle. All this rock detailing. The animated cranes over here as well. Filtering things out. This is a great example of how important surface painter is, right? All this sand and dirt. And really nice use of your pile decals. Guess you're possibly mining some sort of iron oxide out here, are you? All this red. Very cool. Great stuff, M-Dog. A big ring road surrounds the whole thing with storage here, more immaculate prop work. Barrels and crates and old warehouses here. Real nice. We've even done like a layer under the hill, like exposing the ore from the grass on top. Isn't that cool? That's so creative. I really like that, actually. There's a cargo train station up here, which is, again, really wonderfully detailed with all the stuff out front and the tire marks on the concrete. Or this swoops very dramatically over the highway into a big train bridge. Will the train please get you on that one, M-Dog? I'll possibly say you alright. I'm not going to measure the gradient. It's only ammo for the gradient, please, isn't it? And I really love this merging here. From the highway roads back onto the arterial in the port. Which takes us onto some aggregate storage with export function and detailing aplenty all the way around this area. Isn't that nice? There's a lot of fun here, M-Dog. Love all this like tropical, overgrown, under highway behind rotary kiln stuff. Isn't that nice? It's these little bits of a city that make it realistic, you know. Love this view right here under those bridges. There's also more breakwaters out here too. Pretty similar to what we saw earlier. But a really nice ore island, M-Dog. That's a super cool feature of the map, that one, isn't it? You've done an excellent job of executing that island there. Real sweet. This then leads us tantalizingly into the mainland, which is where the vast majority of the build resides. On some really challenging terrain, it has to be admired here. I think I've mentioned before, Orchid Bay, or was it Thessia? One of the two was very nearly on this map, but I decided to not use it because Thessia's islands were already so tropical, and this felt quite similar. But M-Dog has got, again, just an admiration for the road hierarchy through our challenging terrain here. It's really something to be admired. And we'll start with another port right here with zoo assets. Our ferry depot is also here with parks aplenty. More of these Chinese statues as well. Before we can see marinas. Fishing harbours, Africa in miniature. Taking us down to a supermarket, fish market, and some really excellent use of parking lot roads out the front of one of King Leno's malls. Custom housing. That's kind of same gated community vibes again with the big urban roads this time. With a little festival site. This is nice. You've got the stage and the fan park arena. With, I guess, just loads of space around the fan park arena, right? To sit and enjoy the concert up here. Got some screen detailing. Eateries. Really nice. Very simple and tasteful that, but does a good job, doesn't it? Nice little festival area. There's a library here. With countryside emergency services. Before we do start coming into countryside, at least for a little bit. We'll see crop fields here. With pitches, processing. Fields. A little bit of highway rest stop action happening out here as well. Before we come into another Chinese statue with a really cute overgrown area here. Again, with purposeful abandonment, M-Dog. I really love how you've done this. Like the old knackered gas station. Yeah, it's even been fenced off here, right? Like it's shut. It's not open for business anymore. First time we've really ever seen that in City Showcase. People detailing with abandoned assets. I have to say, M-Dog, I'm very impressed. Very impressed. It's inspired me, actually, to use abandoned assets like that. Isn't that so cool? A little mid-episode round of applause for that, M-Dog. Genuinely, never seen this before. That's so nice. And all this as well, you can feel the frames, can't you? Have a guess why, everyone? Because there's loads of custom plants over here. But overgrowing the highways with dirt and decals and concrete and IMT. Isn't that just some gorgeous network design? Commented recently on an episode of Ilium how much of a difference kind of dusty, overgrown highway side space makes to a city, and then M-Dog sends this in. Isn't it just gorgeous? The layers in the terrain here as well. Not flat by any means. Yeah, I love this whole interchange system. Really quite mega. There's a lot going on there, isn't there? Good chance to pause the video if you want some inspiration for an interchange with layers. This brings us up to the old European train station. With a metro here and lots of detailing. Also got a little bus only road under here as well. Check out the ridership on this. See what we're gonna get. 455 through that one. I'm not sure. Why do you have so much death, M-Dog? There's definitely no crematorium missing on the. Oh, do you know what it is? You're playing with life cycle rebalanced, aren't you? I bet that mod has not transitioned properly in the save. So, but yeah, the save had life cycle rebalanced. I'm guessing there's something gone awry in the transfer there. It's fine though. Ignore it. It makes no difference to the showcase. It wouldn't have been like that for M-Dog. I promise. I promise you it wouldn't have done. So from the station, where do we want to go here? Let's check out, I think, this chunk of civilization, and then we'll go through the valleys into the next set of the city. So from our station, Sunken Highway, which I really love the tunnels going under the station here. Then we'll come into more industry. With container yards, a little bit of death care. there is some in the city. Container yards and crates over here. More containers, again, more delivery vehicle detailing. Makes a world of difference to your industrial area, doesn't it? From these farm spaces, we'll see yet more dirty decal work. Dirty decals done dirt cheap almost in this city, isn't it? Flour mills, pitches, slaughterhouses, and some custom rural house detailing. Look at all of this, everyone. This is custom, isn't it? This isn't part of the asset. Yeah, this is all custom around the edge. Even here as well. Look at that, M-Dog. Look at that. Look at all that custom detail in here. That's not part of the asset, everyone. Pretty sure M-Dog mentioned in his submission he was particularly proud of some custom detailed Japanese houses. I'm pretty sure these are them. Really nice. Fields out here. All the prop work that's gone into that. Even here. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's so nice. And this just continues everywhere. All this little custom prop work here. All these little decals there. These decals. All of those. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Incredible, M-Dog. That looks so nice. I might have to use that in today's thumbnail, you know. We're going to call this, you know, this is what I mean, right? Some of the photorealistic detailing. Like, look what M-Dog's been up to here. Right. That's such a nice garden. Obviously quite horrendous. It's very dirty, but nicely detailed. Just incredible, M-Dog. What a little area to stumble upon. Genuinely lost for words. It's so cool. So cool. I think this is probably the best detailing we've had on City Showcase so far. Nothing has been this elaborate and this realistic at the same time, because it is hard to detail. You can chuck a load of props down and it can just look worse, but this does not. This is seriously, seriously good detailing, M-Dog. Genuinely just lost for words. Every house you look at, there's another detail to enjoy. Also an incredibly inspiring way to use the countryside houses. That rounds us off there. Back at the edge of the mountain. Easily my favourite district in the city. I don't think that it's going to be beaten over here. We then come across a massive Y interchange with many different slip ramps taking us to different locations, which isolates a forestry district in the middle with forestry processing, yet more insane dirty decal work all the way through here. Same again this way. More IMT to be enjoyed off of the interchange ramps too. Train yard. Oh, that is functional as well. Hello, train. This will bring us down into a big recycling centre district. Loads of train yard stuff going on here. Again, which is all overgrown and dirty and dusty and grimy, isn't it? Train station over here as well, which hopefully has some decent ridership as our frames fall through the floor. Not too much on that one. Our train's coming in all the time though. Heading over this way, we'll see Green Cities Suburbia, again with just immaculate detailing around the edges of these buildings, my word. Just so cool, isn't it? We're also seeing Renewed History for the first time in a pack as well. This must have been a recent finishing then, M-Dog, if you've got these assets in here. These are only like a month old, aren't they? So you must have just finished this project. And then our Green Cities Suburbia flows down the main road. As our road hierarchy collapses down into small. It really dissipates off down here around the river bends, which I really love the rivers in this map. Very nice. Does this go anywhere we want to follow? We'll come down here in a second. we're gonna get too lost. Let's head back down the highway. We'll take this bridge across the rivers. up to a big green cities chunk. It's a really nice river combination. Quite prone to flooding, these houses, I imagine. Before we discover another mall space over here. Unit buildings and green cities in combination with each other. Before we come into what is basically like another little mini downtown, pretty similar to the one we saw over there. There is a definitive city centre, which I'm assuming is this main CBD here on the mainland approach up this way. But I do like there's like the fact there's multiple skylines around, even if they are burning down in front of our eyes. So over here, out the front of that train station we sacked out a minute ago, there is a nice plaza with pathways, props, and a big kind of outer line combination of shopping malls and wall to wall, which is a really nice combination style, isn't it? You get a good spice sample of those two styles next door to each other here, don't you? And gives you a nice little outer line medium density solution. Just popping onto the waterfront briefly here, there's warehouses, fisheries, services, and more dirty decals out the front. Which then brings us into the skyline made up of skyscrapers, uniques, a few different packs at play here, hotels, financial districts, skyscrapers, and modern Japan, of course, as well. Let's take a little walk through downtown, shall we? Where indeed all our little back alleys and side streets have been taken care of. Really love that. Plaza work here at the foot of the observation tower. Just, it flows so naturally, doesn't it? I think the sign of a good city builder is when the city has flow to it. The districts blend together. Nice little plaza detail in here. Using a cherry blossom with the planter and some tiles. To the back of a hotel. Green City's towers here, again with their own details tucked in around the back of them. Restrooms and pools, just amazing. That's so cool. And then we have another abandoned tower here, again which is, I'm going to assume, a purposeful choice, because other towers around the city have been left to be abandoned. So I'm just assuming it's a strategic abandonment. A really nice beach detail in here. This is such a cute little plaza space, isn't it? Really like that. That takes you onto the beach. Although I can't imagine you would do a lot of swimming in an estuary. It's probably quite dangerous, isn't it? I'm not sure. Can you swim in an estuary like this? I imagine it'd be very fast flowing, quite a lot of currents to contend with. I probably wouldn't go in, but that's fine. Over here we come to a stadium wrapped up by more of those parking and shopping malls. Before a little metro station sits here. Getting some nice scurry, there we go. Well, that's what we want, isn't it? Hello people. Welcome to the city. So some really nice transit in action there right by the stadium. Right in front of downtown. With elevated zoo pathway right over the highway. Again, which has been really nicely intersection marked up here. Great merging of highway and arterial road there. Great stuff. With the sunken networks to be admired as well, bringing us back through this wild interchange system. Really nice part of the city, this MDoc. Really love this whole section, especially these houses by the highway. They're incredible. Really sweet. I think before we head up those hills, we'll sweep through this way and grab this outer line stuff, and then come back through for this over here. So heading down the highways we were a moment ago. Again, which is wonderful parallel rural networks passing through these mountain valleys, right? Really sweet. This continues up and over yonder. We'll get to enjoy some very dramatic ramps indeed. Feels very Japan around here now. all of a sudden. There's a Japanese asset as well. And Japanese train station. Coming in the centre of town, we'll arrive at services with a pretty busy bus stop over here. And some helicopter stuff, commercial. More little details around here as well. Brings us up into very much an industrial town. We've got forest industry embedded right in the town here, rather than separated into its own district. Wall-to-wall. Plaza detailing still to be enjoyed in these more rural towns. A little switchback mountain road here. I think this is heading up to the observatory, isn't it? We've also got more stuff down here. Just more forestry processing down here. Yeah, we can see the tree plantations here. Very nice. The road heads up. That is almost certainly inspired from that Japanese interchange, isn't it, M-Dog? It looks very similar. And a really sweet execution there. Isn't that awesome? This thing continues up the hill. To a little viewpoint here across the town. We'll keep following this. That'll be the road splits. Nightmare. We'll go to the observatory first. All the way up here. Before we do arrive, which has again some nice part detailing. Is that a custom part gate there? Or have you fused one of the country gates onto the actual part gate, I think. Might be what's going on. Viewpoints, which has a really nice viewpoint. Look at that, across to that airport over there in the main city. We'll get to that. Then here again, lots of dirty decals taking us through to a weather station, which looks absolutely wonderful. Nice little tasteful hilltop installation there. Nothing over the top, nothing too dramatic. Leaving this rural town, our highway will continue slicing through the mountain valleys just incredibly well. Such a dramatic landscape, this map, isn't it? Wouldn't mind building on Winding River one day. I do really like it. And then over here we come into more really wonderful rural farming vibes. With even more. Maybe this is what he was talking about in the submission. With the detailed homes. Because there's even more of it happening again here. Just amazing. What are these? I'm pretty sure I saw vineyards in the pack. Is this them? There it is. Ronex's Vineyard 2 props. Yeah, I saw them in the playset. I was looking forward to seeing what they were like. And they are very nice, aren't they? Should have used those with Thessia, really. Look at that view. Up through the farming valley. Isn't that gorgeous? My god. All the different curves and layers here. Gorgeous, M-Dog. Absolutely gorgeous. This is legitimately better than any of my builds. This is incredible. Again, all this detailing in the farmhouses. Like, insane. Have you even used European suburbia as like a shed? You have, haven't you? Seen that in a few instances here. Magnificent. Loads of vineyards. Props. Look at those. Those retaining walls there to hold almost like kind of rice paddy style vineyards. It's very kind of Machu Picchu, that, isn't it? With the tiered walls. Enormous fan of that. That's so nice, isn't it? That rock texture. More of it up here. Countryside homes. Vineyards. There's just tons of different variation of it. You could troll through these for hours, couldn't you? Little nature reserve up at the top of the hill here. Yeah, just really quite brilliant, M-Dog. Really quite brilliant. What a wonderful farming town. I'm sure there's more details we've not seen over here, right? Yeah. Services, a little gym. Rural train station with cute, appropriate town centre. Another rest stop out here too before more of those rural farmhouses get back in. This definitely has the Japanese-inspired vibe to it, doesn't it? Definitely in all these little mountain towns and regions. Before the country road takes us home. Mountain road. Brilliant. Fantastic, M-Dog. I thoroughly enjoyed looking through this whole section of the city here. Easily some of my favourite bits with those rural houses you've done. Back over to the train station here where we didn't explore earlier. We'll come across some merging downtowns and quite a harsh frame rate drop because there's tons of flowers here. A big food market though. Love this. Combinations of green cities, all the Africa props in there as well. Isn't that fun? A couple of Korean food markets, loads of props. Beer kegs, maybe. A bit of Oktoberfest going on down here, right? Brilliant. The City Hall makes up a transition into European with a very nice alignment of the City Hall and the European street market. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's get an appreciation for that sightline, I think, here. Yeah, very nice. Good asset combination, that one. And then European blocks. Mostly square, nice roundabout detailing here. Which is actually one of the off-ramps from this major interchange. And emerging downtowns and European is a pretty sensible combination, I think, here, isn't it? Actually complement each other, almost like new style European meets old, right? Very nice. This district flows, again, with lots of geometry and nice road planning. Up to a Varsity Sports building. We'll also see the clock tower amongst the European buildings here as well. Statue. And we'll see some brief amusement park assets here. Just a quick flash in the pan of a park. Got a zoo gate down here. Warehouses, bus stations, which are somewhat busy. And the park itself, again, is packed with props, details. There's even a little pedestrian road running through the park area here as well. Bringing us uphill. And the terrain here is by no means flat, is it? Like, in any way whatsoever. And we'll see what's going on. So we've got a lot of custom homes here. Or is this emerging downtown stuff? These are definitely custom. With amazing views down the valley because of the way these are built on the hill. With a fully taken care of back garden detailing. Using the fences. Really like these assets. This brings us to the top of the hill with shopping services. And I've definitely not missed the cathedral sat over here as well. Amongst all this commercial and residential. Again, possibly one of the most unique placements of the cathedral here. It's often seen centralized, this, you know. I'm surprised you didn't put this with the City Hall and the Market Street asset down here. But to have it just on the hillside here, with its own retaining wall, gives it a wonderful view across the town, doesn't it? And the relevant mountains. Massive retaining wall takes us up to the top. We'll see loads of different mountain village assets. Definitely the appropriate setting here, isn't it? This is Mountain Village. Before we see a funicular. Amazing. Do we have a vehicle? Where is it? Where's the funicular? There it is. Brilliant. That's so cool. Never seen that before. I have to say, I really like that track. Almost looks like it has kind of solar panels on it, doesn't it? Not really. So almost all like a water grate, doesn't it? That's so cool. Little funicular, taking people from the bottom of the hill up to the top. And looks like it's getting some decent use. So is that the metro next door? I think it's the metro next door, isn't it? Anyone gonna get out of here? No. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, they did. They did. I spoke too soon. Okay, nice little convergence there. Really fun. I've never seen the funicular networks in before, M-Dog. Great stuff, mate. And that brings us up to a mountain village district, of course, like we mentioned. M-Dog's usual immaculate prop work present all the way through this as well. Same at the back of the funicular station. With hotels, given all their own detailing, of course. A little bit of African miniature in there as well. Some more hilly interchange ramps take us on a pretty elaborate zigzag path network which covers all the mountain tops. Like, that's wild. This must have been an absolute pain to build, right, M-Dog? This must have took you a while to get all this in. This goes everywhere, doesn't it? You can walk across the whole mountain, so back up to the observatory even here. Which is crazy. But yeah, that then brings us over the hills and far away into two more smaller rural towns. Where's this road coming from? That's the switchback from the observatory, isn't it? Yes, it is. You must have used a ton of nodes here. For all these roads. Actually, is Watch It installed? No, it's not. I can't check the node count. Would have been quite interested to know, actually. Down here, we'll see a big chunk of a station from Sunset Harbour, centralising the town. With some custom apartment assets in this way. Very nicely fused together. I love this apartment complex here. Isn't this great? Really realistic. European suburbia completes the rest of the town with a little green cities commercial strip. And some more of those luxurious beachfront gated property vibes coming in again. With the repetition of that tennis asset. And loads of stuff through here. Just simple small town building. It's an art form. Respecting the delivery around the back of commercial buildings. More details. More trains. More purposeful abandonment. Guess in the back of the old factory here. I'm assuming it must be M-Dog. Because abandonment is disabled via advanced building control. So they would have been abandoned before I loaded in, which I'm guessing you made them abandoned. So that's why I'm assuming it is like that. Especially with the other abandoned section we saw earlier. The mid-century modern homes work really wonderfully on the front of the beach here. And before we'll follow our networks down to a little church, possibly. Yeah, looks that way. Little beach church there. Before these take us into the next town here. Switch backing down, which again is simple, tasteful, rural vibes. Small town plaza with European suburbia. Simple Japanese detailing services. Sauna, child and elder care along the beach. Big car park here. I guess for this metro station, which really looks like a commercial building, doesn't it? It looks more like a mall than a metro, this asset. From Railroads of Japan, isn't it? That one, I think. If my asset knowledge serves me right. Content creator pack, by the way. Yeah, commercial. All of this elevated line cutting through. A really nice use of the office branches there. Again, from Railroads of Japan. Definitely lots of big Japanese themes running through this build. Really picking up on that. Just the stylization of the building. And then a spa hotel. Again, looking out over the beach with a little boardwalk here. Taking us up to a hidden castle, which I hadn't seen. that nearly snuck away from me just then. But just the hotel castle out here on its lonesome. With a lot of beach to enjoy for itself as well. Wonderful. Really nice. These are some really cute rural townships you've got going on out in the mountains here again. So in and amongst Some really horrific terrain. Not easy to work with that at all. But over here we can also see nature reserve. Yeah, tents, camping sites, caves and rocks. And then just a bunch of water pumps over here. Which is cool. Yeah, great stuff. Really lovely, mountainous, rural building. Excellent work, MDog. So leaving the hidden valleys of Los Ricos out of the mountains and into definitely what is the major city space, made up of the winding river, of course, for which the map is named after, but also a major international airport, and downtown proper, it would also seem as well, alongside lots of very extravagant interchange work, which most notably we can see here with this giant stack formation, can't we, over here? We'll get over to that. Either way, let's come down to our waterfront in this brand new area, which looks absolutely gorgeous as always. Mixes of pretty much all the DLCs, and a really interesting fusing of one of the smaller, more awkward buildings. I'll definitely applaud that. Very nice little fuse in that one. Here we'll see metro and monorail pierce down the beach. And again, another note for MDog's road planning abilities. Great hierarchy through here, interchanges integrated thoroughly within the city. Very nice. And this brings us up to a transit hub. One of my favourite hubs actually. Hopefully this is getting some tasty ridership here. 585, we'd love to see that. Trains seem the busiest. Trams on the bottom, a little bit of monorail action kicking off as well. Cool, so I'd love to see this hub. Down on our beach, there's lots of tourism, nightlife, planters. More beach detailing, seaside resort harbours, or piers I suppose. And some of these, I think these are network extension 2 roads, aren't they? These little wooden boardwalks, I'm sure. What's that, a nice little market integration with green cities, of course. That brings us up to the Theatre of Wonders. Really nice pedestrian beachfront through here. Which then drops us off at the chungus of the build over here. We'll come back to check out this stuff over here in a second. Let's check this airport out first. Major international complex, 2 runways, node-controlled terminals, which is massively amazing, isn't it? LRX, of course, Los Ricos International. A really fun runway configuration using the curved pathways for that airfield aesthetic. With hangars and refueling tanks all on the side. Aviation Police should be more than happy with this. Great airfield detailing. Real nice. Planes waiting to be loaded. Delivery vehicles waiting. Great stuff. Love to see the time and attention gone into an airfield like this. Which also includes cargo airport as well. Although... yeah, it is. It's over here. I was about to say, where's the main building? It's here. Yeah, cargo airport integrated into the international. With a warehouse, big wide roads. Into some office park pedestrianised over here too. There is some elements of light plane traffic, but you know, the CSAI only handles so much really, doesn't it, before it collapses under its own stupidity, I suppose. Over here, pedestrian office front with a really nice terminal design. Loads of detailing at the front of here. Hopefully a nice busy airport metro as well. Yeah. Car parking. Lots of bush-lined roads. And just real nice terminal integration. You're going for the double-decker here. You can see how it sweeps up. Actually enveloping a multi-story unit, which is very nice. Nice way to use the double-decker terminals, that actually. With the bus terminal at the opposite end. And a glass roof plaza kind of beckoning everyone into the airport facility itself with hotels, airline headquarters, and another LRX sign out here. A great airport, loads of transit. There's another hub over here as well. Very nice. integrated straight onto the road there. Buses coming in with some really tasteful bus detailing. Isn't that cute? Really like that. Great airport, M-Dog. Real nice. Got some roads here with more IMT providing us with access back onto the national highways, which brings us back to this area over here. Where we saw a lot of the high-tech buildings over here. There's some really nice mall configurations yet again with the parking lot roads off of this monorail road, which runs parallel with the emerging from underground metro, which is a real nice combination here, isn't it? Modern Museum of Art. Got a sunken train station down here as well, which is suffering train traffic. Any particular reason you're backing up? Or are you backing up from the other end of the line that's stuck, I think, is it? Beyond that, we have wall-to-wall through here alongside a mountain road, which takes us back over here to the mountain village assets we checked out earlier, is where that goes. And then wall-to-wall paths, parks, and parking as the highway really cuts through this bit of the city. Back up to the front of the airport terminal. Which brings us into the next bit of the city here. Looking down again, look at the road plan here. I really want to check out this interchange. Right, look at that. That is you can see the frames. There's just so many custom plants jammed in here with the decals. But isn't that just an absolute beast of a stack interchange? It's absolutely massive. Incredibly well graded as well. Of course, it's all intersection marked. Stunning. Really nice interchange, that M-Dog. That's very Phoenix, which I know M-Dog is from the mile grid. So perhaps some nod toward that, maybe. Over here, European suburbia kicks in, providing us with little bursts of commercial and population. In and amongst these arterial frames with vast amounts of train traffic through here. Looks like that's emanating from the industrial area over there, is it? Possibly. And then big box small vibes over here. Pedestrian crossings. As Coco also enjoys a little shake. Apologies if you heard that. She is steering for a second walk right about now. And then a lovely little school campus. Combination of tennis, pitches, parks and schools, libraries. Good stuff. And just a nice sprawl, isn't it? A nice lower mix of commercial and homes. Simple city building here, but very effective. As we arrive at a little cluster of vanilla density, which sits here next to another pretty massive industrial district here, which mainly is power and garbage processing, really, I think, is it? There's a few ore processing buildings here. But again, a nod to the hours of detailing that I've gone in around the rail yard here, which is actually flowing really nicely. Rail yard police will hopefully be happy with this. And it crosses over the arterial road here. Back into a passenger train station. With just such an impressive rail yard aesthetic, right? Got containers in here, tons of warehouses. Lots of concrete space, tram depots. Little strip malls down here as well. Alongside some significantly larger mall space. With more powers. More power buildings. Water treatment over here. Or some custom water treatment assets in this one. And with all this fencing, just great detailing. Bit of industrial evolution over here too, right? Yeah. We love the industrial evolution stuff. And even some of Vanya's recycling buildings as well are also subscribed in this city, yet with more tire mark work. And delivery vehicles and props in all these little industrial corners, just all fully considered. It's absolutely amazing. Great detail in M-Dog. Same here again as well, right? Just off the coal plants, we've got these kind of like coal dust, I guess, if you like. Just a really nice industrial area. Absolutely vast as well, isn't it? It's so chunky around here. Moving into our next block, we'll notice some geometry with the Art Deco buildings in the middle. And then more little custom apartment blocks. Using emerging downtowns row homes for this. Some plazas, unique buildings, which is a very nice combination there actually. Table detailing on the corner. Some really nice covers for your bus stops there. They're really nice, aren't they? I love those. Tower apartments, vanilla buildings being repurposed many times, fused into the bottom of a supermarket is very cool. I love this idea here. And then more of them here. Great way to integrate some high density into your commercial spaces, that. Even with a custom commercial building here as well. This is very nice. Osan Center, we can see tons of detailing here where our frames really start to tag. So it's just like whatever space you look at in this city, there's always something to stumble upon. Many hundreds of hours have gone into it, clearly. It takes time to get this done. And to have the patience to do it across the whole city as well. You know, to not lose that bug. That desire just to get things done and try and speed up. It's an art form, really. And M-Dog is an artist, clearly. That's a really nice use of that park there. Really sweet. That drops us back off at the massive stack interchange. Something around here is murdering the frames. I'm sure it's the plants. It could also be Sims. It might be Sims, actually. Because look at that. No Sims. Wonderful. Nice little transit hub here. Bus, metro and train all converging with one another. Some nightlife and entertainment off the ramps here, alongside further cargo delivery detailing. This side as well. Parks and wall-to-wall bring us back into the mall spaces we saw earlier by these high school areas. That's great stuff. M-Dog really is just a wonderful, wonderful city build. Another little gated community here by the highway interchange, it looks like. Mid-century modern assets here used back to back. Gives you a very rich, luxurious visual, doesn't it? And then that European suburbia kicks back up the other side of the highway, bringing us into another little tram park here with hotels, seaside resorts, loads of decals all through here. That's not been lost, M-Dog, has it? Another example of the road planning hierarchy through here again as well. It's grid mixed with curves, which is always such a nice combination, isn't it? It's always so easy to lean into one style too much, but M-Dog as always has found a wonderful balance. In and amongst more of these emerging row homes. It's a really nice sprawl, isn't it? Used these quite a lot in Ilium recently, of course, these emerging downtown assets. Great stuff. Over here. Little parks and details. And even more pool detailing. Just here, you've got a little slide. Amazing. Love that. And this is taking us back to that big industrial rail yard complex over there now. Really nice. Let's check out this side of the industrial area. And the coast before we loop back into the approach up to CBD over here. Leaving the rail yard, we just have outer lying suburbia, really nicely woven around the winding river for which the map is named after. Lots of bridges and networks through here. Old vibes. Seaside resorts. And emerging downtowns, which, no, honestly, isn't a bad combination, is it? I think especially these like wood panelled apartments. They have like a kind of a cladding on them, don't they? Kind of like this texture here. I think in particular works quite nicely with seaside resorts, doesn't it? It's pretty much the same texture actually, isn't it? There you go. That's quite a good spice sample between the two packs there, isn't it? Very nice. Little node controlled cul-de-sacs. Which then brings us down to this wonderful overgrowth. Custom overgrowth at that as well. Very nice. With fishing, marinas, and a little shelter over there with the rocks. Don't think I missed anything down this coast, have I? Nope. Nothing over there. Wait, did we get that over there? Yes, we did. That was the nature reserve, wasn't it? There is another nature reserve here, switchbacking up. Which takes us to overgrown hills, viewpoints over the next little town here, which is certainly fishing orientated. Lovely pathwork against the edge of the car parks there as well. Lots more emerging downtowns through here. Again, the respect for delivery space at the back of buildings. Appropriate car parking and whatnot. You see a metro station here, which has a little bit of ridership. We're catching a train into CBD from here, most likely. Before this emerges out with some little pedestrian riverfront areas here, I suppose. Emerging downtown's one of those Africa bird statues. You don't see them very often in City Showcase. And then this place is off following the arterial road again, which is just more really wonderful network planning. Arterials connecting, transit alongside them. Maximising the zonable space here at the foot of extreme terrain. All things I love to see, MDoug. We also have a little island stadium here as well. The basketball arena makes an appearance with pathways and overgrowth and car parking. And before we see Brooklyn and Queens and a big rail trench. Now we recently had a build off in the Discord for sunken train infrastructure, and MDoug did submit. And I think you submitted something from here, did you? It rings a bell. At least something in this city I think was submitted. Join us in the Discord, by the way, for friendly vibes and competitions. As we come into here, let's get a bit of a sense of what's happening. So north of the river, seeing a big mall design with the Arc de Triomphe. Let's take a walk down here, shall we, everyone? With one of the Capitol buildings centralised at the other end. I love seeing the tram anarchied through this arc. That's so cool. I think the first time I've ever seen that before, actually. Very nice. There's metro down here. Lots of landscapable gardens, transit layers of multiple different heights as well. Fantastic. Churches off the side, big towers emerging downtown, sunken infrastructure. Our couplet system has appeared. More trams, more uniques before we arrive at the big Capitol building here. It always reminds me of Phil, City Planner, for some reason, these kind of like dome assets. I think it's because there's one in Clearwater County, isn't there? Every time I see something like this, I just think, Phil. For some reason, any dome reminds me of Phil. This is full of planters down here. Loads of detail at the foot of all of these buildings. Very impressive, visually designed mall space, MDoug. With more towers around it. Skyscrapers, emerging downtowns. Modern Japan. Art Deco. Really nicely detailed service points over here. Again, respecting fencing. Even using the new race day fencing there. Or is that a custom network? I think it is that one, isn't it? I'm sure it is. And then more of it over here. Really busy pedestrianisation through this area, actually. Holy smokes. Hello, people. Yeah, this pedestrianization's being really fueled by the train station, isn't it? Oh, metro station. Oh, and train, yeah. Doubled up here. Great stuff. Big walking porn happening around here. Of course, lots of people living in this area as well with so much residential. In elaborately designed mall spaces. Plus plaza detailing here as well. Before we see this Brooklyn and Queens district come back up, which is quite refreshing to see the way you use Brooklyn and Queens, MDog. I tend to kind of mass block it. There's lots of different shapes and sizes you've gone with here, which I really appreciate. Around the edge of this big mall space. More really coolly marked highway intersections. And then this comes around really into our main approach into downtown following the highway road, which is matched up with green cities on the left. Really wild train networks passing through this area as well, transitioning to different lines. We've got benches, planters, palms around our green cities formations. A little bit of walking scurry here. Yet more tyre mark detailing around the back of the bus depot, and indeed the bus station over here as well, even some cracks coming in as well. I do love some crack detailing. I actually had to buy a new arse the other week because my old one had a crack in it. There's some parts of Korea detailing over here as well. The highway interchange takes us over. And we're really seeing M-Dog's density blending skills come into fruition here now. All these little towers peeking up from Hearts of Korea. Very nice. Got the Birthday Plaza with my favourite metro station. Partnered with the Jangbisoft building, the Mirai. Like, Hearts of Korea is such a good park, man. Like, these unique buildings are gorgeous. Plus the zone you get with it as well. Really love Hearts of Korea. Possibly underrated, in my opinion, actually. I feel like because it came quite late, it didn't really get the love it deserved, but it's gorgeous. More Hearts of Korea here as well. And the school. This whole area is Hearts of Korea. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, let's look at the flow here again. Mentioned earlier, sign of a good city builder is being able to blend different districts and styles together. It's gorgeous. Art Deco appearing here too. What we see? The peanut bowl. Which is interestingly placed here by the highway. I guess perhaps as a nod to the campus over here. I imagine something of a campus arena. With plenty of walkable people to the metro coming from buses, it seems. With quite an elaborate walking pathway here. Where are you going? Just back to this Hearts of Korea suburb, I think? Yeah, that's where it goes. And a nice trumpet interchange to boot as well. Following down our arterial road, we'll catch views of the skyline as we approach downtown with loads of bus and tram infrastructure and cyclists moving down this road. Really good stuff. Yeah, really nice. This highway comes over as well. One for the industrial style highways here. And then big car parking with more Hearts of Korea apartment blocks. Again, an asset I need to use more of. You get a real kind of socialist housing vibe from this, don't you? Lots of state housing, especially when it's repeated this heavily. Does perhaps look a little bit kind of Chinese or almost Korean, doesn't it, I suppose? I guess more Korean since it's Hearts of Korea. Over here, a little industrial district. Sits around a factory, industrial evolution also appearing here. With more of that overgrown rail yard train aesthetic, bringing us into more industrial evolution and cargo delivery here. Over really one of the most elaborate train networks we've seen on City Showcase. There was, I think, maybe 2 or 3 cities where the train networks really stood out. But M-Dogs is certainly up there. As we see another campus which sits by intersection marked 4-lane highways. And another wonderful central mall design. All the way down here. Metro integrated into it. All the unique buildings present. Academic library also in here too. With some student accommodation. The tax office is an interesting shout here in the campus, but I'm not averse to it sitting opposite the academic library. I think that's quite nice there, isn't it? I think almost a bit of recolour might actually go quite nicely here. Maybe bring it more into an orange to sit with the campus buildings, perhaps. Just as an out loud thought, at least. Special. And I really love the surrounds for the campus, all this industrial transit infrastructure and the highways. This then very much drops us in downtown, which again we'll take a second here just to admire the road planning hierarchy. I love this shifted grid, how it's kind of just not quite parallel with the arterial coming in. Really nice that. They've also got a road going over there, which we'll get to in a second. But let's start out from Central Station. We've gone for the end of line platform, which is not super busy. Let's just see how much use we're getting. Only 103 a week. We could have caught that at a low point now. There's also a campus building as part of the skyline. Doesn't that sit so awesomely opposite the Central Station there? This is why I tell you everyone to use campus buildings in your downtown. How amazing that looks right out the Central Station, right? Good asset combination, that Endo. Brooklyn and Queens sits around the back of this with basketball courts and details. The skyline itself, mainly made up of skyscraper DLC, but there's Korea green cities in there as well. Brooklyn and Queens, of course. Let's just take a look, a little walk through downtown, shall we? Pedestrian streets up to really gorgeous towers. Love it. It's so cool, M-Dog. It's such a really nice, tasteful, well-spaced build. Residential towers in here as well. It's not always massive skyscrapers. Even a little bit of Brooklyn and Queens row homes to be found in the inner city as well. We can see a monorail blade over there too. Loads of people walking up and down this street. You see how much that shifted angle helps there? It's not just endless, relentless grid, like the angle shifts. So cool. Tiny little one-unit roads, bringing us into more walkable plaza space into the Metro Hall, which looks quite busy. Let's have a little look, shall we? Just over 1,500 a week. Very tasty indeed. So that'll be fueling tons of the walking porn around here. Very, very nice. Get a sense of the score. There they go. Hello, people. Fantastic. I love that. Brilliant. Then we got our stock exchange over here, which has stocks being delivered out of the back. It looks like. And then stadiums. Got more Metro here. Frames are tanking here. I'll try not move the camera too much so it's not as nauseating. But there's a huge amount of people there. Wonder if there's a match day happening, is there? Looks like a match day might be getting prepared. Got loads of walking porn out of this Central Station. I got the Design Hotel over here. Coming briefly onto the marina, we've got another busy convergence here of monorail, cruise liners and buses, which is super busy. And then a bit of commercial. Modern city centre. Some custom assets down here as well. Isn't that nice, those little custom marinas? That's a gorgeous asset. What is that? Marina and hotel. It's a really nice one, that. Those ferries we saw earlier as well are also docking here again. Bring us up to the London Eye. And some more little tourism details on the pier. That comes out. Even down to a little boat slip ramp over here. That's so cool. Love that little detail. Back in the downtown, we can enjoy more towers to the left of the Metro Hall. And I love how this plaza here, you see how it's sat with this angle, not the angle of the grid around it. It just leads to all these little different shapes forming, doesn't it? Such a subtle thing to get excited about, but you can see it present all the way through. But just how the grid keeps constantly shifting angle. It's very impactful. Very impactful. Great stuff. Out of downtown here, we'll follow our road down a very decorated beach full of cycling, volleyball, beach props. Fountain plazas again. More fountains at the front of these extravagant buildings here as well. Really good. This brings us over the hills and into a doubled up deluxe hotel, which is the first time I have seen that. That is very tasty. Very nice, MDog. And here. Cracks again. More decal work at the front. With benches and nightlife. Really love that positioning there. And this little walkable concrete alley between the buildings where you would expect people to cut through. And then another little detailed beach. Oh, with some wave decals as well. Very nice. Very nice. Is that the only place you've used them? No, there's some over here as well. Or am I only just noticing them now? I think maybe just on the tourism beaches you use them, did you? Very nice. You had the little seafoam decals. Really cute, M-Dog, honestly. Just simply sublime city. I think we got everything here now. I don't think I've missed anything out on these other islands. I have missed something here. No, that just comes with the map, I think, doesn't it? Yeah. Yes, it does. And that pretty much wraps up, I would say, one of my top 3 city showcases, M-Dog. The detailing in this build is easily some of the best we've seen on the series so far. I thoroughly enjoyed looking around that, my friend. Thank you so much for sending it in. Let me know what you think of M-Dog's build down below. And if you concur that this is indeed one of the most, if not the most detailed build, especially those houses over in the mountains. Just different gravy, M-Dog. Seriously nice build. And a massive shout out to the YouTube members and patrons bankrolling these videos. If you want to get involved in that, there's links in the video description to both. And if you're missing any of the DLCs that you've seen today, Instant Gaming is the place to get them. And don't forget, if you want your work featuring in the next episode, do you think you can top M-Dog's fantastic detailing work? Not that it's a competition, but this is very good. Then feel free to submit your own work. I absolutely love seeing these city showcases. Try to get some more CS2 ones in. If there's any of you with decent CS2 builds, we get sent majority CS1, but it would be nice to see some more CS2 stuff. So links are all in the video description anyway. Otherwise, enjoy the cinematics, and I thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.